The afternoon sun slanted through the wide bay window of the Meta apartment, casting honeyed rectangles across the cream-colored modular sofa. Dust motes danced in the light, the only movement in an otherwise still meticulously curated space. The lounge smelled faintly of lemongrass diffuser and yesterday's jasmine incense. It was the kind of home that breathed calm until Emily walked in. She kicked off her white sneakers without untying them, letting them collapse sideways near the shoe rack. Her pink cotton tee, faded at the elbows, bearing a tiny embroidered sun on the chest, was rumpled from a long day at college. Her light blue tapered trousers, usually crisp and trendy, now bore a faint coffee stain near the knee. She dropped her tote bag on the floor with a sigh that carried the weight of a failed group presentation, a missed bus, and 3 unanswered texts from her best friend. "Ugh," she muttered, padding barefoot toward the kitchen. "Just need sugar." And silence. The fridge hummed softly as she yanked it open. Inside, everything had its place: milk carton front and center fruit tray, neatly sectioned bottles aligned like soldiers. But Emily wasn't thinking about order today. She grabbed a yogurt cup, peeled the foil back with her teeth, slurped half of it, then paused. She didn't want the rest. Didn't want to rinse the cup. Didn't want to deal. So she shoved it behind the milk bottle. Then the empty chip bag from her backpack, crumpled greasy, landed on the lounge floor near the coffee table leg, half hidden by the rug fringe. The blender left on the counter purple smoothie residue clinging to the blades, the lid askew. She flopped onto the sofa, scrolling mindlessly, pink sleeve brushing the armrest, blue trousers bunching at her ankles. She told herself, "I will clean it later. Mom won't notice. It's just stuff." But moms notice. An hour later, the soft click of the kitchen drawer broke the silence. Emily looked up and froze. Her mother stood in the kitchen doorway, spatula in hand. Not raised. Not threatening. Just held. Her beige linen kurta was spotless, her navy palazzo crease-free, but her eyes, usually warm like chai on a winter morning, were quiet pools of disappointment. She didn't yell. She didn't sigh. She simply walked to the fridge, opened it, and pulled out the yogurt cup. She held it up. Condensation dripped onto her palm. "Behind the milk, Em?" Her voice was low, steady. "Since when did invisible mean okay?" Emily sat up, heart thudding. "I was gonna clean it, I just got home, and the floor." Mom tilted her head toward the lounge. "The blender. The wrapper under the sofa cushion." She had checked. Of course she had. Emily opened her mouth, then shut it. There was no excuse that wouldn't sound childish. And at 20 she hated feeling childish. Mom walked slowly to the center of the lounge. She placed the yogurt cup on the coffee table. Then, with deliberate calm, she opened the top kitchen drawer and took out the wooden spatula. Not the silicone one. The old teak one, smooth from years of use, its edge slightly worn. Emily's breath hitched. She had seen it before, not in anger, but in stories. "Beta, in my day, one look from your nanny with this, and we would clean the whole house twice." But her mother didn't raise it. She held it out, handle first, like an offering or a warning. "This could have been used. Back in my college days, maybe." A quick sting of flushed face and lessons learned in shame. She paused. Looked Emily in the eyes, really looked. "But I want." "Because shame doesn't teach respect. It teaches fear. And I didn't raise you to fear me." Emily's throat tightened. She hadn't expected this, not the calm, not the choice, not the quiet grief in her mother's voice. "What I will do," Mom continued, "is ask you to see what you did. Not just mess. Disrespect. This home. It's not just walls and furniture. It's my love folded into every clean surface, every stocked shelf, every meal I make, hoping you will eat just a little more. And when you throw things behind the fridge, you are not just hiding trash. You are hiding care." The punishment wasn't loud. It was heavy. Emily had to deep clean the entire kitchen, hand wash every dish, scrub the blender twice, wipe down shelves inside the fridge, organize the pantry, vacuum, and mop the lounge, not just the visible floor, but under the sofa behind the TV unit. Write a letter, 3 parts: what I did, why it hurt you, how I will change. No phone, no music, just her, the sponge, and the silence. She worked on her knees, the rough terry cloth of her cleaning rag rubbing against her blue trousers. Her pink tee darkened with sweat at the back. The spatula sat on the counter not as a threat, but as a silent witness. By the time she finished, her hands were pruned, her ponytail had come undone, and the lounge gleamed not sterile but alive with care. She sat at the dining table, pen trembling over paper. What I did, I littered. In our home, I treated shared space like my personal dumping ground. Why it hurt you, because home is your love language. Every wipe, every fold, every organized shelf, it's how you say I am here. And I acted like that didn't matter. How I will change, I will clean as I go. I will ask for help when I am overwhelmed instead of taking it out on the space that holds me. She folded it neatly. Dinner was simple: dal rice, sautéed greens. Steam rose in quiet curls. Mom. Emily's voice was small. Can I read it? Her mother nodded, setting down her spoon. Emily unfolded the letter. Her voice wavered on the first line, steadied on the second, broke on the third. I treated your effort like it's free. But love isn't free. It's work you choose every single day. And I forgot to choose back. A tear dropped onto the paper. Then another. Before she could say more, her mother stood, not to scold, not to preach, and pulled her into a hug. Tight, warm, smelling of turmeric and fabric softener. You do choose back, Em, she whispered into her daughter's hair. Every time you text me, good morning, Ma. Every time you save me the last samosa. This was a bad day, not a bad heart. The next morning sunlight poured in earlier than usual. Emily tiptoed into the kitchen before 7 a.m. She boiled water, steeped ginger and mint, poured 2 cups of chai into their favorite mismatched mugs, hers chipped at the rim, mom's with the faded floral pattern. Then she opened the fridge, not to hide but to restore. She wiped every shelf, aligned the milk, placed the fruit tray front and center. And on the outside of the fridge door, right beside the grocery list, she taped a bright yellow chart, hand drawn in colored markers. The golden light softens to dusk as they sit together at the wooden dining table. No rush, no agenda. The young woman in the soft pink tee and light blue trousers leans her elbows on the table, chin resting on interlaced fingers, watching steam curl from her chai. Opposite her, the woman in the beige linen kurta and navy palazzo pushes the sugar bowl toward her. Not because she asked, but because she knows. A comfortable silence settles, the kind built on years of love and just one difficult afternoon. Outside, the city hums. Inside, the fridge hums too, clean, organized, full. And on the table between them, 2 empty mugs. One slightly chipped, one floral faded, and a single perfectly ripe guava, halved with 2 spoons waiting. No words needed. Just presence.